What's going on, YouTube world? Today is a What Sold video, and if you've watched my other What Sold videos, you know we're going to go over the profit I made from the sales of items that I've recently sourced from Goodwill. We're going to go over my return on investment, which is the percentage I'm making on the amount of money that I've invested in these items. We're also going to talk about the profit-time ratio, which to me is the most important metric as to whether or not you're a successful eBay reseller. It's basically your dollar amount per hour.
That's very useful information.
But first, I do want to mention that this is the 20th video that I'm posting. And over this past weekend, we just surpassed 100 subscribers, which is awesome. I'm so thankful to all the viewers. If you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button if this is the kind of content that you would like to see more of, and hit that notification bell so you can see when we post future videos. Let's get into it.
Tell us about yourself.
My name is Jason, aka Mr. Llama, the not-so-better half of The Lazy Llamas, which is the eBay store that I run with my wife, Mrs. Llama. We started selling on eBay about 3 years ago part-time, and we grew our business from zero to over $10,000 a month in sales in less than 2 years. We believe that anybody can do it with a little time and a little effort, and a big part of how we started was Goodwill's, thrift stores, and yard sales. And like I said, this video is going to be going over recent purchases that I made from Goodwill's to resell on eBay. So let's go ahead and get started with item number one.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
These are New Balance 928s. I picked them up for $6 and I listed them for $39.88 free shipping. They sold within a few days of being posted for full price. After taking out shipping and fees, it left me with a net sale of $28. If you take out my $6 for cost of good, the cost of goods, COG, is the investment that I made into the product, which was $6. So you take the $28 net sale, subtract the $6 of investment, the cost of good, leaves me with a net profit on these shoes for $22. The next item we're going to go over is an item that I actually featured in the last video from my Goodwill finds. It is a bun coffee maker. I picked it up for $10. I listed it for $79.88 plus shipping, so we don't have to worry about taking shipping out for our net sale. So $79.88 plus shipping. It sold for full price. So after taking out eBay fees, it left me with a net sale of $69. That's a net sale after you take out eBay fees. You minus $10 from the cost of good, what I paid for the item. That leaves me with a net profit of $59. So I took $10 and turned that into a net profit of $59, which was a really good find at this Goodwill.
Not bad at all.
And bun products, bun coffee makers, carafes, things like that are really something that you should be looking for. Bun coffee makers can sell for really good money. So if you can find them cheap, and they don't weigh very much, so they don't cost a ton to ship. So even listing them for free shipping, which is something I probably could have done, I decided not to do it this time. But these don't weigh that much, so they're not that expensive to ship, and they're pretty easy to package as well. And they ship pretty easily. So definitely look for bun coffee makers. They can be excellent finds, and you can make really good profit off of them if you can find them cheap.
I'll be on the lookout.
Okay, the third item we're going over is a pair of Johnston & Murphy golf shoes. I'd never sold anything like this before, but I saw them on the shelf at Goodwill. They look to be in excellent condition, so I looked the comps up on them, because some golf shoes can go for pretty decent money. FootJoy is another brand that you might want to look out for. I've resold those in the past for pretty good money as well. These are Johnston & Murphy. I looked up comps. They look to have pretty good comps and sold comps as well. So I went ahead and picked them up for the $8. I listed them for $39.88 plus shipping, so I don't have to take shipping out of the equation. That leaves me with a net sale after eBay fees of $34.50. Subtract my $8 investment, my cost of goods, so take that out, leaves me with a net profit on these shoes of $26.50. So again, turning $8 into $26.50 for my net profit. The fourth item I found, I didn't make a ton of money on this, but I still think it was a really cool find. I love finding stuff like this. This was a vintage Pepsi collector's glass from 1978 featuring Aquaman.
Hey, Aquaman!
Comic book stuff can sell pretty good. Vintage stuff can sell pretty good. Pepsi stuff can sell pretty good. So I looked up comps on it. There weren't a ton of sales on these, of course. I mean, there's not a lot of these in existence, but there were sales on this exact glass when I looked them up. The glass was $2, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick this up. I think it's cool, and I'm going to list it and see what happens. I listed it for $24.88. I got an offer within a few days of $22 even, which I accepted. After fees and shipping, left me with a net sale of $14. And then if you take out my $2 cost of good, I made $12 net profit on this glass. So took $2 and turned it into $12, which isn't bad. And like I said, it's not a ton of money, but it was a fun item. I enjoyed selling it. I hope the person that bought it's really going to enjoy it. I think they actually left a message or a feedback that said they were very happy with how it was packaged or something to that effect. I might post the feedback here on the screen, but I believe they got it as a gift for somebody, and they were very happy with how it was packaged. They were very happy with the glass, and I really hope that the person that they give it to really does enjoy it. And so now we're going to move on to the fifth item, which is a pair of Merrell Pace Glove trail shoes. And I've talked about Merrell in the past. Merrell is a really good brand to look for when you're in the shoes. They sell very good, very quickly. In the last What Sold video, I had a pair of Merrell shoes that sold. I listed these shoes. They lasted for a couple of days and sold for full price. I listed them at $34.88 free shipping. Like I said, they sold for full price. When you take out shipping and the cost of good, left me with a net profit of $17. So I took that $6 investment that I made in these shoes and turned that into $17 net profit after you take out fees and shipping, which was a good flip. Like I said, it's not a ton of money, but like I said, these are very small. They're very easy to list. They ship easily, so I don't mind spending $6 to make $17. So wasting no time, we're going to move right along into item number 6. And these are shoes that I actually featured in my last video. It was not a What Sold video. If you want to go back and watch that video, it's about the one thing I hate about selling on eBay, and that is buyers not paying for their items. These shoes, I took a gamble on. There were no sold comps on these exact shoes, but I saw some listed comps that said that these shoes were rare, and those listings were like over $200 for these shoes. And they were like $8, and they were in excellent condition. So I took a gamble on them.
I'm a gambling man by nature.
I originally listed these shoes for $100 or $99.88 plus shipping. They sold three times, quote unquote, for offers. I took an offer of $85, buyer never paid. Listed them again. I took another offer at $80. Again, they never paid. So I accepted another offer of $70. And this time I did not wait the 4 days. After the second day rolled around, I was done with it. I actually canceled it under the reason code of out of stock or broken. I'd never do that, so it was not going to be a huge mark on my seller rating, but I knew they weren't going to pay for it again. They had not responded to messages. So I canceled on the second day and relisted it at $49, which was yesterday. Relisted it at $49.88 plus shipping, and they sold immediately at full price. And they paid, and they've already been shipped out.
That's quite a story.
So that $49.88 comes down to a net sale of $43.50. I paid $8 for the shoes, which leaves me a net profit of $35. So after a little bit of frustration with these shoes, I did end up making a decent profit on the $8 investment of $35.50. I have no idea why these shoes kept getting offers and buyers not paying. It's very weird to me. I've never had anything like that happen in the entire 3 years I've been selling on eBay. If you have an idea as to why this was happening, please leave it in the comments, because I would love to know. It was extremely strange. But they eventually sold at full price at $50 plus shipping. And so I was happy with that. But again, very, very strange situation. Now moving on to item number 7. And item number 7 is actually 10 items. It was that lot of Wii games that I talked about in the last Goodwill Finds video. I found this lot of 10 Wii games in the media section at the 4th Goodwill I had gone to this day. I picked these games up. They were $3 each. And each one of these games was at least a $25 game. A couple of them were like $15 games. A few of them were $40 to $50 games. They all sold. I told you in the last Goodwill Finds video, all these games were going to sell within a few days of being listed. They all did sell. all sold at full price, except for the Kirby Dreamland. I did take an offer on that. I think I listed it at 30 or maybe 35, and it was the last one to sell, and I took an offer at $28 for it. I had already made so much profit on the games. It was the last one left to sell, so I just went in and took the offer on it and got them all sold and out the door. So we're just going to treat this kind of as one item for now. So combining all the games, the gross sale for all the games was $276. The net sale on the games was $210, and then you take out shipping and all that stuff. It left me with a net profit of $170. So I took a $30 investment on these 10 games and turned that into $170.
Smells like money.
Okay, now it's time to crunch some numbers. We're going to go over our ROI, which is our return on investment. So to do this, we're going to take the total profit from the entire sale of these items. The total profit on these items was $342. And what we're going to do with that, we're going to take the total cost of goods from all of these items, which was $70, and we're going to divide that $342 profit by that $70 investment or cost of goods. And that's going to leave us with 4.88. You're going to take that number and you're going to multiply that by 100, which is going to give us a total ROI of 488%.
Math, 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 math.
Now, this is a very, very high return on investment. But as I told you in the last video, your return on investment for Goodwill, yard sale, and thrift store trips should be this high. You should be making at least a $350 to $400 return on investment because you're getting items so cheap, and if you're doing your research well, you're going to be selling them for 3, 4, sometimes 5 times what you pay for it or even more. So your return on investment should be this high or close to it when you're doing thrifting and Goodwills and yard sales. Now, when it comes to buying in bulk and other things that I do, return on investment isn't this high. And I'll put a link so we don't have to go over it all over again. I'll put a link to the other video that I did that really goes over ROI at the end of this video. So if you want to go check that out, I'll make that link available at the end of this video. Finally, we're going to go over the profit time ratio. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I believe that this is the most important metric as to whether or not you are a successful eBay reseller. The profit time ratio is basically your hourly wage. It's how much you're making per hour. So for instance, this trip took me 8 hours. That was to go out, go to all the Goodwills, get all these items. Took me 8 hours. And on this trip, I picked up 45 items. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn those hours into minutes. So we're going to take the 8 hours, multiply that by 60 minutes, and that's going to give us 480 minutes. I'm going to take those 480 minutes of the time it took me to get these items, and I'm going to divide them by the 45 items. So we're going to have 480 minutes divided by 45 items, which is going to leave us with 12 minutes per item. So now I have to go with how long it took me to list the items. And I'm just going to say an average of 5 minutes per item to list them. That's getting pictures taken, completing the listing, and getting it posted. And then we're going to go into how long it takes me to ship the item. So we're just going to go with an average of 5 minutes to package the item. So 12 minutes of drive time and sourcing, 5 minutes to list, and 5 minutes to ship, which gives us a total of 22 minutes per item. So now we're going to take the 16 items that we went over in this video, because I'm actually going to do the games individually. So we went over 16 items in this video. So 16 times 22 minutes, it's 352 minutes I spent on these items. You take that 352 minutes, divide that by 60 to turn it back into hours, and we have 5.8 hours I spent on these 16 items. I hope you're following along. I know it's a lot of numbers.
Gee, maybe I should write this down.
So now we're going to go back to our total profit from when we did our ROI. The total profit from these 16 items was $342. So we're going to take that $342 and we're going to divide that by the 5.8 hours, which is going to give us $59 per hour, which is really good. I don't mind working for $59 per hour. And my dollar, and it's going to go down maybe a little bit as the other items I got sold because the profit on those gains were so high. But when it's all said and done, I'm still going to be right around probably $40 an hour, which is where I like to be. As long as I'm over 30, I'm happy. I'm usually around 40 when it comes to like Goodwill trips, things like that, I usually end up averaging about $40 per hour. So I don't mind putting in an 8-hour day for $40 per hour.
Bet you don't.
And we're going to end the video there. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you can see future videos. As I said, I'm going to put a link to that other video. I'll probably put a couple of videos here. One from the previous Goodwill, what sold Goodwill video that's going to go over, it goes over ROI and profit time ratio. And I'm probably going to also put the link to how to know if you're really a successful eBay reseller, which actually goes over profit time ratio a little bit more in depth. So check those videos out. And until next time, if you don't know, God loves you, I love you, and we'll see you next time. Peace.